Hello everybody, or lobby 1 manager going so I can talk to you guys. Get rid of that. JPH, I'm good mate, I'm good. I was just flicking through to see what the crack is with qualifying tonight. So it's Ruddo, this bloke, hill climb, and someone else that can't qualify, but we'll get through that as we go anyway. 2 minutes to qualify, so I'll give you a little bit of an intro as to what you are watching if you are here on this fine, it's a long running league. I probably won't go as far to say it's long running, it sort of took over from another league that Next Gen were running, but it's proved very popular. Birthright, how we doing, Chief? You good? So it's, I think Next Gen have gone this way a little bit this season. They've sort of seen how popular this is, and it's been replicated with a few other things. So the Megans is essentially a little spec series, nothing too dramatic, nothing that the drivers have to do oodles of practice for. You can pretty much get in and drive, so it's really good for that. These are just short 20-minute sprint races. The cars are all exactly the same, there's no tuning. The tyres are all spec'd as well, so they've got to run the spec tyres, and they don't have to worry about fuel consumption, tyre wear, any of that. They just get in, drive, stop. P-Gib, how you doing, Chief? Good to hear it. Burnfry, RNG, Jack Eats Donuts. Hi up, Jackie. Are you in this lobby? Ah, there you are, yeah, Jack Eats Donuts on the screen in the number 21, Adrian Flux. Not confident on this race. All the time on this one, mate, is lost last corner. So what I'd do is just pick where the fast guys are, how they're sort of handling this last corner. All your time is here. All your time is there, so just to turn in, downshift just to get the front end rotating, and away you go. So yeah, that's where your time goes at Tsukuba. But to be fair, stay on track. Like, you're gonna have the fast guys coming through. I won't hold them up, and then pick you away. So this is round number 3. So Ruddo, Timmy and Hill Climb are unable to qualify this time round, so they'll be starting right at the back of the grid. Hirakram can't make it tonight anyway. I believe he's got other, probably less important, but other things to do. So he is elsewhere tonight. So it's going to be a bit of a shootout. So these reverse grid races present an opportunity for drivers like Jano, for Bruce Lee Harding, Saxo, Burnfry to really put a stamp on this division. So they traditionally have qualified well and held that lead. All last season, the guy that ended up winning the entire championship, which was Hirakram, never won one of these reverse qualifying grid thing races. He never did very well in them. So people like Burnfry can pick up good results. Oh, I've got awful like indigestion tonight, so if I'm a bit off, that's why. Right, so there we go. So that's JPH has just done that to reset the times in the lobby. So we've got a 10-minute qualifying session coming towards you. So the guys that are going to be starting at the back, they're going to be allowed out to practice, but they can't. They've been given basically a target time, like a delta to hit. So they can't set a time any faster than the delta that they've been given, but they can get out and do a bit of track practice. GT Sports died. Alright, P-Gib, it's open quali anyway, mate, so yeah, you've got 10 minutes. Yeah, you've got 10 minutes. As long as your Twitch doesn't die, then we're all good, mate. That's the main thing. I'm going to be watching JPH a bit tonight because he's been coming on in terms of his form lately. He's done a lot more racing. I think that helped. So yeah, I'd be interested to see how he gets on in this reverse grid. Tsukuba's a track he'll know because they've raced here a lot. Him and Gino are battling for track position on a qualifying outlap though. Saxo's left the room as well. Gibbo for pole. Gibbo, mate, you've got 8 minutes yet, pal. Plenty of time. Tsukuba's less than a minute a lap. You'll have no issues at all. So we'll start to get lap times in soon. These lap times will then fire at us like a machine gun. It might be quite hard to keep up with this, I'll be honest, because when it's a minute a lap, it's bam, 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 bam. Burntfire's going to set us a benchmark to see how we get on. I think a 54 is a decent time. So Burntfire puts a 54.5 on the board. Hill climbs slowed down, so obviously he's not going to set a lap. D Whitehouse is going to be the next one to cross the line. D Whitehouse, what can he do? He's had some good races as well. He goes 3 times slower. Bruce Lee Harding, he puts a good time in as well. In fact, what I'm going to do for this, I don't normally do it, just so I can see the times on the right hand side then. So Gino puts in a 54.6, so that puts him P2 on the grid at the minute. Timmy's set a 54.9, so Timmy wasn't meant to set that time, but he set it anyway. Rally Matt, what's Rally Matt done? 54.9 for Rally Matt. JPH 55.7 for JPH, the slowest of all people that have set a time so far. Hill Climb's just sat there, so he's not setting any times at the minute. Ruddo's going round as well. Saxo's on his outlap, and so is P Gibb. So Gibbo for pole is well and truly in order. Burntfire though, 54.4 this time round, goes fastest of everyone. Jack Eats Donuts representing with 54.6. What was that, Jack Eats Donuts? I'm not confident. Well, if 54.6 on your first flying lap doesn't inspire some confidence, I don't know what does. They are both beaten though by Jano, so that's a 54.2. So Jano starting to get on board, shaves about 4 tenths off his time. So Tsukuba then, one of the shortest tracks to visit on the calendar. It's a real world track based in Japan. The GT Sport boys love this for a bit of drifting. I didn't know this was quali. Yeah, I think we're going to have to do a bit of a manual grid. I know JPX listens to this, but Tim has been a donut mate and set a time, but he's P12 at the minute, so yeah, he's set a time that I think will beat quite a few people. So at the minute it's P7, we'll see where he ends up. It might work out alright, we don't know. So JP's at 1.4 seconds off the time. I feel like he's yet to properly represent with a time. What's he set this at? 55.2, so he taps off Saxo's time. So Saxo popped in a 54.8 early on as well. Rally Matt 54.8 for him. So going to be quite close with it being as short a lap as it is. The times are going to be pretty close here. Jack Eats Donuts are down to P4, but 54.6 for Jack Eats Donuts at the minute. Burntfire across the line goes purple, 54.1 for Burntfire then, just 0.02 of a second faster than P-Gib. Gibbo for pole was temporarily going. He's got 5 minutes yet to do something about that. That's enough for 5 proper flying laps. If he can find himself a little bit of slipstream, because slipstream will help you down this back straight. It's probably worth a tap for too. It's very close at the top, just 0.02 of a second behind Burntfire, and 0.05 of a second ahead of Jano. So Gibbo is going to go for another shot here. Jano's best at the minute is a 54.2. Leads Bruce Lee Harding by quite a substantial amount, I'd say, at this stage of qualifying, over 3 temps. Jack Eats Donuts after that early pace has been lumping in a couple of 55, so just getting a feel for the track. P5 at the minute is definitely not a bad position to start. Track position's quite important at Tsukuba. It's not the easiest track to overtake on, with it being quite narrow. There are plenty of overtaking opportunities present. We'll jump on board someone for a lap. Saxo is quite good to go on board with, so this turn 1 braking zone slightly uphill, so you can get on the brakes a lot later than you think. Go for sort of a mid to late apex and get the exit speed. you're presented with an overtaking opportunity down towards this banked hairpin, so you want to widen your entry as much as possible, but this green turf on the inside has a lot more grip, so you want to cut in for that. Slight lift down with the brakes, cut as much of that apex on the middle. We cut while I press the wrong button as we go to the Dunlop Bridge, down towards what will probably be the favourite overtaking spot on the entire circuit, which is the third of 3 hairpins. Coming up the back straight then, this is where slipstream is king. The last corner's not the overtaking spot that you really want, but moves can be made down here. Saxo with the downshift. Just balancing the throttle on the exit. Nice lap this by Saxo. Actually improves his time, goes up to P4, so we chose a good lap to go on board with Saxo there. 54.5 for the Tank Tools driver. Burntfight still leading the way though, but this lap's not an improvement for him. Where's Gibbo? Is Gibbo improving? He's not improving this time around. He's got to beat a 54.1. Really needs to be in the 53s if he's going to be getting that pole position. Burntfight's pole is a 54.167, whereas P-Gib is a 54.193, so you can see how tight it is up at the top. Jano's not improved on his early pace either. It's fine, so JPH has clarified the earlier rule. Bruce Lee Harding, 54.5 for Bruce Lee Harding. He's not going to improve that this time round, just goes slightly slower. But P5 for Bruce Lee Harding. He has demoted Jack Eats Donuts down to P6. So we're coming toward the end of qualifying now, just 2 more minutes, so a couple more laps. So Timmy will come out and set his allotted time. So Woodrow and Hillclimb have sat there a lot of times. The minute JPH down in P9, he's on an out lap now. He's going to have time for maybe 1 or 2 more flyers. He trails Rally Map by just 4 tenths. Well, that's Gibbo. Oh my word! 54.166, Burntfight 54.167. There is 1/1000th of a second between P-Gib and Burntfight at the minute. Yeesh! I'm sorry I missed that. Completely missed it, P-Gib. Do apologise, but at the minute, Gibbo for pole with a minute and a bit to go is in order. So now the pressure's on Burntfight. He's not improving this lap either. He's a 10th down. Gibbo doesn't improve that time around, 54.177, so he's definitely getting it in the swing of it. Jano is another driver. He sets a purple first set to Jano's another driver that can certainly upset the apple cart here, but he's got traffic ahead of him now. That traffic could help him with a little bit of handy slipstream. So the number 13 3M car potentially poised for a late upset of the Gibbo for pole. He is a 10th up on P-Gib's time with a bit of slipstream in the final sector as well. As long as he nails the last corner, he'll be fine. I think he will set the pole position. But at the minute, Jano is poised for a 53 time. That last corner did look a little bit untidy on the entry, but can he do a 53? Oh no, he just misses out. He improves his time with a 54.175, but it's not enough to dislodge P-Gib from that P1 spot. Burntfry now on his last lap. What's he on? Is he improving? He was personal best second sector, but he wasn't purple. And with the margins being as tight as they are, he really needs to have been purple in that last sector to dislodge P-Gib. It doesn't improve. Jano then, the next driver that can really throw the cat amongst the pigeons, isn't improving this lap. Going to be a done deal. Qualifying is over. With the 10 minutes having elapsed. I think the organiser will allow any drivers that are out on laps to set those laps. So we'll see if P-Gib can improve that time. He doesn't. Burntfly has given up. Jano's dealing with traffic. He is purple sector 1 though, Jano. But there's not a lot in sector 1 to be found. He's got a lot of slow traffic ahead of him. Just ride on board with Jano as he attempts to set this lap time. He's getting a little bit of slipstream from the car ahead. So Gino is 9 thousandths of a second off P. Gibbs' time. So that's it. Qualifying is done and dusted. Weiss is joined. Last of the late joiners. Weiss is going to start right at the back. I think he's just not going to be able to qualify. Can Gino spoil it? No, doesn't improve his time. So Gibbo for pole. Well and truly in order. 54.166 for Gibbo. 54.167 for Bertfry. 54.175 for Gino. So the top three within 9 thousandths of a second. I don't think he blinked that fast. And that's how much separates the top three drivers at the minute. So we're just waiting for Weiss to enter the race. He has entered now, so away we go. So we're waiting for everyone to get out. I think we're safe to start now, JPH. I'd love, like, you know, like a camera on the drivers. I'd just love to have seen Gibbo's reaction when he set that time. I think JPH is having a bit of a mare with this race so far. Rally Matt, yeah, Rally Matt's out. He's gonna just get past sector one. Basically that. Once you go past sector one, it registers your time. So Rally Matt will do that now. That'll set his time. He is pretty much good to go. Sector 1 is there. There he goes, his P4. So away we go. Alright, ready to go. So 20 minutes of racing. Oh, it's cool as a cucumber, honest. Yeah, you'll tell me anything. Look at that though, 1,000. I've never seen qualifying that close, I don't think. I don't think I've ever seen that. Right, just 20 minutes then. 20 minutes for these drivers to keep their composure at the tight and twisty Tsukuba circuit for round 3. There's a confirmation of your grid about to appear on your screen that will confirm that P-Gib is indeed your pole sitter. And you've got the likes of Ruddo, Timmy and Hillclimb starting from the back of the grid. They have 9 other cars to fight their way past. The question on everyone's lips is, are they going to be able to do that? So it's lights out and away they go here at Tsukuba. It looked like Rally Matt got a poor start there. That's going to put him down a couple of places. Bertfry got the jump on P-Gib. So did Gino. So P-Gib's 1,000ths of a second was all for nothing in the end. In fact, he's down to P5 at the start. There is an absolute cluster of cars here battling for this P5 position. We've got Ruddo in there as well. It's all going wrong for P-Gib at the start of the race. He's down to P8. Rally Matt's had a bad start, but he's recovered a little bit. It is Bertfry leading out at the front. We've got a driver stuck on the grid. That is Saxo and Weiss. So yeah, we're going to do a restart. It's going to have to be a manual restart though. And that's probably relief for P-Gib, I think. Relief for P-Gib that I don't know what happened to P-Gib at the start there. I don't know if it'll show me. No, right? Let me see what happened with P-Gib. Yeah, we had drivers stuck on the whistle. That's what happened there. P-Gib just bogged down at the start. You need to slip that 5er to Weiss and Saxo, mate, because they didn't get off the grid at all. So a typical bugged lobby. All the drivers will need to enter the race. If you wouldn't mind doing that, gentlemen, or leave the race or enter the race or whatever. Yeah, closest qualifying ever, Bertfry. I agree, mate. It was tight. It was tight. Tight trousers. Never seen it 1,000ths of a second himself, because he just couldn't. Like, it'd be purple, sector 2, and then something would go wrong at that final corner. Maybe you get a bit of aero wash or something, and it cost him 2 temps. So that just shows how tight it is at the top, because Jano's a damn good driver, mate. So Weiss needs to exit. Weiss, you're holding up the show, mate. I'm just gonna ping him. What would happen if it was on the same time? But I think it goes who set the time first. So I might be wrong. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure if you set the same qualifying time, it goes on who set the time first. Oh yeah, boys, I need a wee and I don't want to hold it in for 20 minutes. That's what happens in F1 anyway, because it's happened before, innit? He's doing the whole turn up and sit on the grid. Yeah. My dude. Wait, she can't hold up the show, mate. So Weiss might not have been stuck on the grid, he might have just been AFK. He's just sat there. Yes, well, I think we're going to have to boot him. Which we don't like having to do. Every week. Yeah. Yeah, that's been a common occurrence, I'm afraid. Well, P, you get another smash at you get another smash at the start, mate. Yeah, Weiss has left the room now. So it's short run down to T1. You've got to get your start right. Nerves aren't holding up well here. Ah, you'll be right. You'll be right. Just get some practice starts in. I think that's what you might need to do here. Because Burnfire typically gets away from the line well. That's the problem you've got, is a good starter. So basically angle your car towards Burnfire and spear him off into the pit lane and he'll be okay. Now get yourself around, get some, because it'll take JPH a minute or so to order the grid. And yeah, get some practice starts on the go. So I think we've got everyone entered. Let's give you a bit of an intro to the Saxo pit glitch. Is he going around killing pit crew? Is he pit glitched? Because he's just sat there as far as I can see. That might be what held him up at the grid then. Might well explain that. How bizarre. Exit pits. Let's have a look at this for a laugh. No. Yeah, he's going around killing his pit crew, I'm afraid. That's normally a personal connection issue, that. This GT Sport is just messed up. So I'll probably exit the lobby, try and come back, see if that fixes it. Meanwhile the guys are just getting some practice in. These are essentially free laps, so they might as well use them. So Saxo is back. Well, let's see if he gets away this time. For the last 2 seasons we've had no issues. Yeah, I know. It typically happens when you get you got so many connections from different places coming into the same place, basically. Right, Saxo's entered in now. Right, he's away, he's clean, he's good. JP8, Saxo's good. He's good. Okay, so some things to watch out for in this race then. Let's see if Ruddo can get through the pack. Let's see if Timmy can get through the pack. And let's see if Hillclimb can get through the pack. Let's also see if P-Gib can get it off the line well. He's got to beat Burntfry and Jano off the line, and these guys have got very similar pace. Race starting now, this race will count. Right, so, in other words, behave yourselves. That's what that means. When JP8 says that, no messing. The thing is, everyone breaks into turn one, and then you've just got a clump of cars then going down into the second hairpin. You just need to give each other space, boys. That's all you need to do. Right then, we're ready to go. 12 drivers here at the Power Max Racing Renault Megane Trophy. Let's get rid of the names. Get rid of that. So attempt number 2, the restart. P-Gib on pole, can he get away well? Lights out and away we go. They did look to get away well. Burntfry seemed to get the better start off the line. And Burntfry's got the inside line for the hairpin as well. He will try and challenge P-Gib. He's got ahead, but P-Gib's going to try and hang it. Jano, though, with the master stroke, tries to go down the inside of both of them. It's a better start for P-Gib. He's not hemorrhaged places like he has done before, but he has lost out to Jano and to Burntfry. D Whitehouse is trying to have a go down the inside as well. We've got a little bit of glitching going on behind. That was involving Bruce Lee Hard and Jackie's Donuts. Saxo is stuck on the grid though, so Saxo, that's it, I'm afraid. They're not going to be able to restart this one. Timmy is P10, we've got Hillclimb P9, Ruddo P8. Ruddo is trying to fight his way through the pack. Burntfry, be aware, there is a stationary car on the grid, mate. Yellow flags are out. On board with the race leader now. Yeah, stationary car. If anyone collides with that, it's going to be bad news. I think all the drivers, to be fair, have managed to survive that for one lap. Hopefully Saxo's been able to exit, which is sad for Saxo. We like to see him in the race, he's very good, but unfortunately his internet's not playing ball tonight. So P-Gib then's managed to fend off D Whitehouse, but he has, in doing so, has lost a second to Jano and Burntfry. Ruddo fought his way up to P6, he's behind Rally Matt now, so Ruddo's looking like he's doing quite well, so is Hillclimb. JPH has lost out massively on that opening lap, he's down to P11, right at the back of the field. Jackie's Donuts has had a bad lap as well, he's down in P10. But no stationary objects for Burntfry and Jano to avoid this time round. Lap number 2 is go. P-Gib just 8 tenths behind them, but he's bringing D Whitehouse with him for the fight as well, so the top 4 begin to break away a little bit. Rally Matt has just been overtaken by Ruddo. I don't like the camera angles you get here at Tsukuba. So you can see behind there Bruce Lee Hard. Sorry, let me controller disconnected. It does that from time to time. So we're watching the fight that was kicking off behind, basically, from Ruddo's perspective. So at the minute, this nice little fight here is between Rally Matt, Bruce Lee Harden and Hillclimb. Hillclimb races basically just trying to force his way down the inside there. You see from Bruce Lee Harden's perspective, he has unfortunately... Oh, that's what you call a big lobby glitch there from Bruce Lee Hardin. What was that? What on earth was that? That was a yeah, that was lag. That was lag all day long from Bruce Lee Hardin's car. So that wasn't purposeful. Jano though has got past Burntfry somewhere along the line. I think we've just been struck by lobby demons tonight. So that was done. Burntfry messed it up on the exit of that hairpin. Jano took the present and run with it. So Burntfire down to P2. P-Gib beginning to close up on the cars ahead. Just 6 tenths the gap now, but the problem that P-Gib's got is we've got a Ruddo fast approaching from behind. Ruddo setting the fastest laps of everyone so far with 54.1. He's right on the back of D Whitehouse and he'll be measuring him up. And with 16 minutes remaining, you do tip Ruddo for a good result here. At the minute it is Jano leading away to Burntfire, leading away to P-Gib. D Whitehouse not too far down. We've got Ruddo and Rally Matt. Rally Matt's beginning to come under pressure from Hill Climb Racer now. And then we've got Jack Eats Donuts in P8, Timmy in P9, he's had an off somewhere. And JPH in P10. We've had two cars drop out of the race, unfortunately, two DNFs. One was Saxo right at the start, and then we had Bruce Lee Harding with both with some sort of lobby issue. So Ruddo looks like he might be fancying a move here up the inside of D Whitehouse. And Ruddo gets himself nice and cleanly up to P4. Ruddo's car starting to glitch a little bit on my screen. I don't know if the other racers can see that. Bruce Lee Harding, joke of race, punted by about 4 people in 3 laps. Yeah, the problem is, Breezy, it's Tsukuba. It's quite famed for that, mate. But all I'd suggest, bud, is just clipping your POV to JPH and they'll sort it out, mate. But sorry to see you leave, mate. So update on the front of the field. Jano is leading the way, 7 tenths ahead of Burntfire. P-Gib's kept the gap pretty consistent to the cars ahead, but he's now got Ruddo. He's a second behind P-Gib and isn't necessarily getting threatened by D Whitehouse behind him, who is a second behind. Hill Climb's next target is D Whitehouse, arguably a tougher opponent than the ones he's passed before. D Whitehouse, of course, got promoted from Lobby 2 last season out and had a very impressive season last time. Let's see what he can do this time round. Rally Map P7, we've got Timmy in P8, Jack Eats Donuts P9. He's trying to defend to a JPH. You don't know until you report it, Bruce. So all I can do is encourage you to report things that you're not happy with, mate. That's all I can really do. So what upsets a new fastest lap, 54.0. Fastest of the race, of course, and that reduces his gap to P-Gib to just 8 tenths of a second. P-Gib's getting a little bit of aero assistance from Burntfire, and he's starting to look like he might be threatening an overtake on Burntfire within the next couple of laps. Burntfire, of course, got a similar gap to Jano. But since Jano's got out in front, he looks a lot more comfortable. Burntfire for me has just looked a little bit more ragged. He could do with just every now and again the back end of his car's just stepped out and exited that hairpin. He could do with not doing that. D Whitehouse got a little bit of a penalty then. Hill Climb Racer now just 5 tenths behind him. So we're at the halfway point of this one. Interesting to see how this top 4 race pans out. So P-Gib's sort of doing enough at the minute. His problem is he's just going to he's going to start getting attacked by Ruddo soon, and that's going to slow them down. So P-Gib's got a decision to make at some point, and he's definitely fast enough to launch an attack on Burntfire. He's setting purple sectors, for God's sake. So he's definitely got the pace, but you do just feel that Ruddo's going to come on the attack soon. So does P-Gib go on the offensive against Burntfire? I reckon he should. He's got no to lose. I reckon he just goes all out attack on Burntfire. Whether he does or not remains to be seen. But just try and push Burntfire into a mistake. Like, just make him think a little bit about what he's doing. Just start peeking your car out. And what I will say about Burntfire, and I've raced with him a lot, he does tend to cope with pressure quite nicely. but you can see this is just on board with Ruddo now. He is really in the pocket now of P-Gib, just 2.5 tenths. He's going for the move down at the hairpin. P-Gib defends, but that defence has sent him deep into the hairpin. That's going to compromise his exit speed. Ruddo's going to tuck him for the slipstream here and potentially look for a move down into the last corner. Ruddo does look for it. P-Gib quite wise to that and doesn't let it affect him, but that has dropped P-Gib back a little bit now from Burntfry, so Burntfry's starting to focus in on the car ahead a little bit more. P-Gib and Ruddo starting to fight a little bit. The problem is if these guys fight, neither of them are going to, like, it's just going to affect them both. So it's whether you opt to do that or not. It's kind of your call, really. P-Gib's certainly doing enough, but you can see it's dropped him to over a second behind Burntfry now. In other words, we've got a hill climb race to pass D Whitehouse. I'm gonna guess D Whitehouse probably didn't put up too much of a fight with that, knowing that the bigger picture is his fight with Rally Matt and everything else. And if D Whitehouse can stay in hill climb's pocket, then it'll bring him closer to the top of the field. Jack Eats Donuts has got himself past Timmy, so that I'm not confident with this track. Jack Eats Donuts got himself up to P8. JPH back of the field at the minute, but certainly, you know, representing with the 54-second lap time, so he's got the pace, really. And I'll be looking for Timmy, who, don't forget, was one of the drivers who wasn't able to qualify because he occupies one of the top 4 spots in the championship. Timmy's struggling to get past here. He's down in P9, 12 seconds off the lead of the race. Meanwhile, right at the top again, our top 4 well and truly breaking away. So the top 4 are 3 seconds clear of any other car on track. And at Tsukuba, that's basically half a lap. It's a long way. The problem for P-Gib is he's not reeled in Burntfry. Right, Burntfry's been quite clever with this. He's not attacking Jaino. So if you look at Burntfry's car behaviour, he's not giving Jaino anything to worry about. He doesn't want to at this stage in the race. Like, Burntfry and Jaino's objective at this stage in the race just has to be, let's just race cleanly. I'm only going to go for a move if you make a mistake, sort of thing. Because if these guys fight, it's going to bring everyone else into the picture. So probably quite sensible from Burntfry, and Jaino's probably cute and aware to that. He knows that Burntfry's not going to attack unless he's pretty much on for a move, definitely. So those two doing a good job at the top. It is giving P-Gib and Ruddo definitely a much harder time in terms of getting past. Timmy is past Jack Eats Donuts, but Jackie's right on the back of him then, the Adrian Flux car. Whether Timmy in the number 22 can get that, use that clean air ahead of him to just start lumping in some good lap times. But Jack Eats Donuts immediately with a launch down the inside. I think Timmy got his braking wrong then into the first hairpin, and Jack Eats Donuts went for the move. It looked like he backed out of it quite early on. Rally Matt and D Whitehouse. Jack Eats Donuts is past him. Let's see if we can see what happened. So this was on board Jack Eats Donuts' car, coming down to the second hairpin, the cambered hairpin. Yeah, just a nice move, a lovely move there by Jack Eats Donuts down the inside. That was a beautiful overtake by the number 21 car. Puts him back up to P8, and that's given JPH an opportunity to attack Timmy as well. Meanwhile at the top, no change at all, although Burntfry and Jaino are starting to fight a little bit more now. So I'm going to guess Jaino maybe made a little mistake somewhere, or Burntfry just had a sudden burst of pace. This is looking from the back of Jaino's car. He holds a 4 tenths advantage over Burntfry. It does look like these top 4, this could finish in any order yet. I don't think this is the order it's going to finish in. It's going to change. This will move about, and now that hill climb's free, he's got 6 minutes as Hill Climb Racer to catch them and a 3-second gap. So Hill Climb in theory should be the fastest man on track. In theory, but at the minute it's Ruddo. Ruddo's the fastest man on track at the minute by a country mile. He's just being held up really. P. Gibbs doing an impressive job there in P3. And he'll be disappointed if it finishes with him in P3. But he's a very busy boy tonight. He's got to try and attack Bert Fry while defending to the fastest man on track. So P. Gibbs, no doubt the busiest driver on circuit tonight. D. Whitehouse still carrying a little bit of a penalty, but still winning in this race against Rally Matt. Jackie's Donuts down to P10. Don't know what happened there. I don't think we're going to catch that. Whatever it is happened the last lap, so we didn't see it. So that puts JPH into the P9 spot. Timmy then still occupying that free air. He's got past him somehow, and he's up to P8 once more. Top of the grid then, the top 4 still as they were, still fighting away. The gap's relatively unchanged here. And the one thing to note, Hill Climb Racer that lap took another few tanks out of these guys. So they will be slowing each other down ever so slightly. We've got 4 and a bit minutes, so about 5 more laps, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit, maybe 6 laps. So we're getting to the stage of the race now where these guys are thinking, right, I need to now think about my track position and where I'm going to finish this race. So you will probably start to see the driving ramp up a little bit more, start to get a little bit more aggressive, drivers going for moves. Jano certainly taking a very early apex line there into turn 1. Hill Climb's 2.2 seconds behind them. This fight, the back's quite nice as well. We've got Timmy, JPH and Jackie's Donuts involved in this one. So these guys enjoying a nice little scuffle. Jackie's Donuts with a lovely overtake earlier on Timmy, but has subsequently fallen down to P10. He did say earlier on that he wasn't feeling that confident with the circuit, but he's certainly proving that he's got the pace here, so we'll see if he can overcome JPH later on in the race. One of them really close to P-Gib. You can see the top 2 pretty close as well, but Bert Fry and Jano. Importantly, Hill Climb Racer is not reeling these guys in. So Hill Climb is 2.2 seconds behind, he's 2.4 seconds this lap round. So that's going to take the pressure off these guys a little bit, especially Ruddo. Ruddo here is definitely the driver that's got absolutely nothing to lose. He can go full bore attack here. Hill Climb at the minute isn't putting him under any pressure, although if they start to fight that might bring him back into it, but he's limited on time with what he can do now. And Jano's doing a great job to hold on to that P1 spot. Bert Fry will be thinking of where he can get that move made. Slow Seamus has joined the room. He's from the other lobby, so he'll just be coming in to keep an eye on these guys and make sure they're not slamming each other off the circuit. Jackie's Donuts with a little bit of a drag in JPX. That's the effective slipstream here. So on board Jackie's Donuts is going. You see the slightly different lines each driver takes. So Jackie going for that later apex. It gives him a little bit of a narrower exit line. Now that means that sorry, not Jackie's Donuts, JPH has to defend. And for the time being, it's unchanged at the back. But Jackie's Donuts does love an overtake down here. And JPH sends him wide though. Jackie gives him a little push. So come on then, get on with it. Just checking all the guys at the top. So as we approach the final 2 minutes, it's Jano leading away to Bert Fry, leading away to P-Gib, who is leading away to Ruddo. These guys hold a 2-second lead over Hill Climb Racer. Hirakram is not racing tonight. See there, Ruddo just poked his nose out at P-Gib, hoping to put him off into the braking zone. We've got Hill Climb Racer P5, we've got D Whitehouse in P6, he's got a bit of a penalty to get rid of. With Rally Matt in P7, Timmy holding P8 at the minute. JPH and Jackie's Donuts fighting it out for P9. JPH having to go defensive. Jackie trying to drive around the outside, hoping to hold that outside line into the hairpin, unsuccessfully though for the time being. For the time being, yep, it remains as is. At the top as well, it remains as it is. So if a lap's taking about 54 seconds, I reckon most of these guys are going to get another one in, are they? No, this might be the last lap for some of these guys now. Some might creep it over in time, I don't know. So it's Jano and Burntfry side by side. We've got Vuddo's just crept through past P-Gib as well, so that's P-Gib down to P4. We're just going to go and have another quick look at how that happens. Give me a sec. So Vuddo stuck a nose in, made P-Gib take the wide line. He's got a nose in then, and he can just brake slightly later. Got that move made. Credit to them for good driving though. So it's Vuddo up to P4. Jano then holding P1 at the minute. He's got enough in the tank, I think, for him to just creep this one out ahead of Burntfry. Burntfry, who's not looked like he's posed too much of a threat to Jano throughout the race, but has kept him in the pocket at all times. So it is going to be Jano who brings home the win. Burntfry P2, Vuddo P3 in the end, P4 for P-Gib, Hill Climb P5 in the end, Rally Matt is going to be P6, D Whitehouse making a mistake, I think somewhere along the line, is going to bring home P7. Timmy, a hard 4, P8 for Timmy, P9 for JPH, and Jack Eats Donuts sideways and backwards, P10 for Jack Eats Donuts in the end. Final confirmation of your results there. So sorry if the comms was a little bit hit and miss. I've yeah, got heartburn. I've not been able to shake it off. Half spun, got rid of penalty. Fair enough. Happens to Whitehouse. What a time to make first error. Yeah, but yeah, it's unfortunate, mate. I feel your pain, but just be proud of that quali performance, to be fair, because it was pretty stonking. I'd be happy with that if I were you. Save the replay just in case I need it for a thumbnail. I see if my new Sykes will do me a thumbnail, won't we? So that's it for round number 3. Where are we at next week, boys? Where are we going? So a bit of a channel announcement while I'm waiting for someone in the chat to tell me where they're racing next week. I have today announced that I'll be covering the MRC TOR GT3 leagues. This is a league hosted by Neville Clewy, who's a chap in our chap in our league. I'll be covering the Pro-Am. So it was Ghost Realm who was doing it. Ghost Realm's unfortunately just had to step away from it for the time being. Obviously GT Sport comes second and sim racing comes second to a lot of other things we do in our lives, so he's just had to take a little bit of a step away from that. Interlagos, that always produces some good racing, you know. So Interlagos next time out, of course, it will return to normal with the with full qualifying, no reverse qualifying or anything like that. Do think move was okay? Yeah, Ruddo, it was clean, mate, as far as I can see. Yeah, P Gibbs, I think he'll be cool with that. He'll just be disappointed in himself. But Gibbo for pole, mate, successful. Interlagos, my sort of track. Good to hear it. Good to hear it. Well, I'll be watching out for good results then for you next time out, won't I, Jack Eats Donuts? So we should have Hurricane back next time out as well. So that's going to be an added bonus for these guys. I'm going to end it here. Thanks for tuning in as always. Do appreciate you tuning in and coming to watch, commenting, talking, all that sort of stuff. It's always good. We're getting on for 100 followers as well. It's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but it's, you know, to someone who literally doesn't advertise the channel is quite good. So I do appreciate everyone who's followed and supported the channel and the stream and whatever. So thanks for tuning in. Join us next week at 8 PM for Interlagos with the Megans. I'm going to be live on Sunday for the BMW M4 League. So tune into that. I think that's 9 o'clock. That one will be live. That'll be on Twitch as well. and then on Wednesday from about 8:30 we'll be live for some GT3 action. That's a very, very interesting league. A lot of strategy involved in that. If you like watching a race for like ebbs, flows, twists and turns, then stay tuned for that one. So that's it from me. Excited to watch this one back. Yeah, Jay, you know it's a good one, mate. I'll whack it up on YouTube very soon. It'll be on there very soon, buddy. Don't you worry about that. Right, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.